They lied about the Sabbath. They lied about the Sabbath. See, this is exactly why I say get this book. This book will tell you everything that you need to know. Welcome back to the Daily Dose. I'm your host, Alize Mills, and this is the Daily Dose Show, where you already know we are always doing the most. If you have not hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button, baby. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, cause we be pimpin'. And if you would like to DM me, sorry, I just got out the shower, so yeah, water dripping. DM me at alize.mills.1, ALIZE.MILLS.1. And if you would like to watch any of my TikTok videos, at manifesting71. Let's get into it. The Sabbath state. Now, I've been researching and I've been trying to figure out what is the Sabbath state. I've watched many videos. I've seen a lot of coaches talk about it. I've seen a lot of people saying that the Sabbath state is when you no longer want your desire, when you are no longer feeling like you have to have it. You're not in that wanting stage. Now, because of the law of attraction, I'm putting this in here. Excuse me. The law of attraction says to drop the desire and no longer worry about the desired outcome. So why is it that the Sabbath is similar? I mean, think about it. Let me read you guys this, okay? The peace and quiet of the Sabbath can be experienced only when man has succeeded in becoming conscious of being that which he desires to be. If he fails to make this conscious impression, he has missed the mark. He has sinned. For to sin is to miss the mark. But see, he says, when man has succeeded in becoming conscious of being that which he desires to be. Law of attraction teaches us that when we drop it and we no longer send out that needy and neediness that we have for our desire, it seems to just come to us natural. But the only reason I say it's a bit similar is because the Sabbath is when we actually embody the true being conscious of who we really are, being conscious that we are rich, despite the limitations that we actually do see in our present reality, or actually knowing that, yes, I am a millionaire, I am a billionaire, same thing, or I do have that house that I want, or I do have that car that I want. And we already have embodied that which we want to be, which we desire, who we are. The Sabbath state is when Neville talks about how God had worked on the earth for 6 days, right? For all my Christians out there, I hope I'm right about this. God had worked on the earth for 6 days, and on the seventh day he rested. The Sabbath state is the same thing. That's why you hear so many coaches talking about affirm. But it's not just only about affirmations. It's not really about that, to be honest. If you really think about it, yes, it's okay to affirm the new reality, to affirm the new state, but that is only getting you ready to actually, it's not manifesting what you want. You are the operant power. And to be honest, it's already done. And I'm going to tell you this. The reason I say it's already done is manifestation for all my new subscribers. If you don't know what manifestation is a simple thought that you think and it actually creates into your reality. A lot of people do not believe in this because they are so quick to say, I see it, to believe it. But believing in the unseen, this is my quote. Do not steal my quote because I will copyright this if I can. Believing in the unseen does not make you crazy. It makes you knowledgeable, because knowledge is creation, and that is by zelum. Alize, aka zelum, okay? And what that means is that when you believe in something and you haven't really actually seen it yet, you are putting faith in it. That's why I don't understand when people say that they have faith in God or walk by faith and not by sight, but you don't actually do it. Is what you're saying. You're saying to walk by faith, or you'll have the tattoo of walk by faith, not by sight. But really, you're telling yourself, I'm not going to see it until I'm not going to believe it until I see it. So therefore you are fake. Therefore you're an imposter, because how can you say that? And if people claim that they believe in Jesus or they believe in God, therefore you should have faith in God, right? You should have faith in Jesus, or I don't want to say God, but you should have faith in Jesus. You should have faith that Jesus is coming back, or Jesus will help you get through this, or Jesus will help you get through that. A lot of people will say these things, but I'm not really seeing you live by what you're stating, and it doesn't make sense to me. It's really very confusing, right? It doesn't make any sense. And see, this is honestly where Neville actually breaks down the Sabbath state. He talks about how, when going back into when I was talking about how you are mentally, okay, he says mentally separating yourself from the objective world, okay, and attaching yourself through the secret of the feeling. So when I was telling you guys about how the universe responds to feeling, okay, I understand that as human beings, we're going to go through different states. I get that. We get pissed off, we get upset. Just like I had mentioned the bridge of incidents. You're not always going to feel this way all the time, okay? But at the same time, I'm going to have to study that a little bit more, because what's really interesting to me is once you actually do take the time to, you see what's in the objective world, but you choose to not acknowledge it, and you choose to believe in what you have already imagined, because your imagination is consciousness. Therefore, your consciousness is of God, right? Okay. So he says, once mentally separating yourself from the objective world and attaching yourself through the secret of the feeling to the subjective state in the function of the sixth letter of the Hebrew alphabet, VAU. Now he goes on to talk about Jehovah. Now, one thing I found interesting was when I was scrolling on YouTube, and there was a guy that said a lot of people fail to manifest applying the law of assumption by Neville Goddard because they don't actually use the feeling. But see, that's the same thing with the law of attraction. They say you have to have a similar vibrational energy for you to attract it is what you want. And Neville is saying that the feeling is the secret to assuming the feeling of your desire. So if you really think about it, they're actually similar in two ways. I could be wrong. I have to do more research. Who knows? But if you really think about it, the feeling is the secret. But see, that's the same thing that Bob Proctor said with the law of attraction. The secret. What is the secret? The feeling. Feeling as if though what you want, whether you're attracting it, whether you're assuming it. Feeling as if though what you want, you have already came to your aim. Your aim that you are achieving is the subconscious aim, because you cannot go and do something if you do not have the mentality to first do it. Okay? Therefore, you can't say, I want to lose weight and get in shape and then start to do it if you have not focused on the psychological drama that's going on in your mind. Okay? So this is really powerful and very interesting. Now, you guys might think I'm talking too fast, but give me a second. Okay. So he goes on to say, basically, with the Sabbath, you have to die as though Jesus had died on the cross for our sins, correct? Because they murdered him, but he chose to get nailed on the cross, okay? He says that the Barabbas, represents the present problem, your present problem. Your Savior is that which would free you from this problem, consciousness. You release the Barabbas by taking your attention away from the problem. So basically, we have to actually be reborn again. So they didn't say that. They just said the Sabbath state is where you are actually no longer wanting what you desire. You are no longer feeling as if though it's something that you need, but you're actually content and you're actually living your life. But they didn't mention that with the Sabbath, you have to die. Okay, like Reverend Ike Legacy was talking about this. Reverend Ike Legacy said And I remember, give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. Reverend Ike Legacy was saying, in the light of God, your name changes. That is the nature of yourself. Understanding changes from John Doe or Jane Doe to I am Jesus. The nature and how you see yourself has to change. So the identity of who you are has to die in order for you to be reborn again. That is the Sabbath. You must release the devil, which is the negative subconscious thoughts, right? Now, this is just something that I'm stating. Not everybody will agree that we have negative thoughts. And let's be fucking honest. We got negative thoughts, okay? Right? Okay. So, therefore, you have to die. The old you must die. You can no longer identify as Alize, Emily, Sam, Jason, or even Joe. You can no longer identify with that because you have now become God. You are God. You are the universe, right? Now, I know what y'all might say. Y'all might be like, Alize, you over here preaching. I thought you... Okay, look, I used to be a Christian. I did. But see, the thing is, I don't believe in religion only because I feel like religion is a way to stop you and it keeps you closed-minded rather than open-minded. Okay? I am also not spiritual. I don't do spiritual practices. I can't say that I'm spiritual. Okay? I can just say that I have an open mind because right now I'm not really, I just believe that the God within me, I believe that God is the consciousness. That's what I believe, okay? I believe that the universe is within us. So you might hear me saying that. You might hear me preaching it, but, He goes on to also say, that's a side note, Reverend Ike says, ye are dead, dead to human self, dead to hate. This is Paul. Dead to hate, dead to poverty, dead to doubt, and your life is hid and secure. Therefore, the old identity of who you once were must die. These coaches have told us that we have to affirm, okay? Yes, but Neville says that is not the work that's just done. Once you have reached the Sabbath state, and if you think I'm lying, go get the book yourself. Once you have reached the Sabbath state, you still have to reaffirm into the new reality that which you desire to be in order to saturate in within that feeling. And that is exactly why I feel like I no longer wanted my SP. Not like that, but I no longer was thinking about her. You feel me? I had the bridge of incidents, okay? And then I looked and then I was just like, you know what? I'm cool. Today at work was pretty, it made me a little bit upset. But I said, you know what? It's cool. I'm not even going to let that affect me because who I am God. I am the universe. I am no longer identifying myself with the human, the regular human that I am. And a lot of people may not agree, but that's just my beliefs. You feel me? I respect all religion, anybody, whatever you believe in. But for my people out there and my new subscribers, for my people out there, talking about for my old subscribers that really know what I'm talking about, my manifesting babies, that's basically what this is. So basically the Sabbath is where you are reborn again, but you have to still reaffirm the new reality of that state. So that's why I don't affirm 24/7. Guys, you don't need to affirm all the time. Just affirm it. Even if you have those thoughts, like I could say, I am fully monetized. I am fully monetized on YouTube, and enjoy it. When you are feeling like you're forcing something, you need to sit down and you need to get real with yourself about these beliefs. You know that I'm real. Y'all know I'm transparent, and y'all know that I'm going to keep it real with y'all at 100%. You need to get real with how you feel. If you do not feel the way that you're stating, the way you're affirming, it is not going to work. Period. But the reason I decided to throw in the law of attraction is because Bob Proctor said the same thing about what is the secret, the law of attraction, right? But a lot of them focus on the feeling. They're talking about your feeling. Now, you don't need to feel this all the time because sometimes you're going to get upset. But at the same time, just remember that what the objective that you see that is in front of you is the present limitation. And those are your doubts and your fears. That's why a lot of people do not go after their dreams. And that's why a lot of people will sit there and say, I will be comfortable with a 9 to 5. And the reason is because they do not believe it before they see it. They would rather see it to believe it. But I don't understand, how can you say that and you claim that you believe in God? But if you have faith in God, therefore you would believe in the unseen. Am I right or wrong? If I am, let me know in the comments, because I don't walk by sight. I walk by faith. Right? And faith can be as small as a mustard seed. It does not necessarily have to be something that is bigger. Okay, because sometimes as human beings, we go through trials and obstacles and trial and error. And as Neville Goddard would say, for anyone who wants to know, he is a Barbadian author. He was a Barbadian author, and he founded the law of assumption through the thoughts that create. You see a lot of these celebrities and billionaires talking about this. People go through the struggle and the obstacles, but like E.T. said, and this is his quote, you don't want it as bad as you want to breathe. Because if you wanted it as bad as you wanted to breathe, then you would persist. Right? I don't understand when people go through the bridge of incidents. I don't understand when people just quit. Don't quit. For what? For why? It doesn't matter if no one believes in what you're seeing. Like I said, believing in the unseen does not make you crazy. It makes you knowledgeable, because knowledge is creation. And Albert Einstein said imagination is more important than knowledge. Where does that come from? Once again, I will mention it again. Imagination is more important than knowledge, because imagination is knowledge. It's creation. It creates knowledge. Our consciousness, our thoughts, the things that we say, those are spells. I keep hearing everybody say, the BROKE. No, you're not. It's annoying. Only because those are your thoughts. And if those are your thoughts, you're going to keep manifesting the same things into your reality. I persist because I believe in me. I believe in my consciousness. I believe in the God in the universe that is within me. I believe in me. So you have to die and you have to be reborn again. It's the same thing with changing. It's the same thing with healing. You are no longer going to be that person or that version that you once were, because you have now finally stepped into your worth, and you know for a fact that you are worth so much more. Do not let any of your circumstances, your obstacles, your trials to define where you will be in this world. Do not give up on yourself. Do not give up on the God that is within you. You are powerful. Believe it before you see it. Because believing in it, once again, believing in the unseen does not make you crazy. Because knowledge is creation. I think that was the quote. Believing in the unseen does not make you crazy. It makes you knowledgeable. There we go. Believing in the unseen does not make you crazy. It makes you knowledgeable, because knowledge is creation. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I hope you guys now finally actually understand what the Sabbath state is. Because a lot of people are not breaking it down, and they need to break it down. I entered the Sabbath state. Straight up, I did. I knew I entered the Sabbath state when I stopped wanting, and I just said, I'm just going to have fun with it. Peace.